Red Bull's decision to extend Sergio Perez's contract put Daniel Ricardo on notice. Ricciardo's return to the Red Bull Junior team was seen as a trial run for him to return to the senior side. Since leaving Red Bull in 2019 to join Renault, Ricciardo's career has been full of ups and downs. He's boldly stated that his dream is to fight in a car capable of podiums again, but his performances haven't matched up to that. At the Canadian Grand Prix, former world champion Jacque Villneuve brutally laid into Ricciardo, giving him his opinion on his career so far. Ricciardo was quick to hit back and started a feud with one of Formula One's most outspoken pundits. Today, I'll check out what was said, how Villeneuve insulted Ricciardo, and whether he's right or wrong, so don't go anywhere. Daniel Ricciardo's return from Exile to VCARB hasn't been the underdog story that many expected. After a turbulent 2 years at McLaren, which included a race win followed by a shocking decline in form, the Aussie hoped that a return to the team who made him would rejuvenate his career. There was a lot of excitement about his return, but before the Canadian Grand Prix, he'd only scored points once in 15 Grand Prix starts, while his teammate Yuki Tsunoda was ruling the midfield. He was in desperate need of a result 10 years on from his first ever race win, and he impressively provided it. He was full of smiles after scoring his first Grand Prix points of 2024 in an action-packed wet-to-dry race at the circuit Jacque Villneuve on Sunday, saying he needed it following a tricky start to the season. After a season packed with lowlights, barring the sprint in Miami, this could be the start of a turnaround. Plenty of hard work behind the scenes paid off in Canada, where Ricciardo displayed strong pace throughout the weekend to qualify 5th and finish 8th, adding to RB's tally in 6th place in the constructors' standings. That was despite being given a 5-second penalty for a jump start and dropping out of the points-paying positions in a frenetic race that got underway in wet conditions and eventually finished in the dry via several more rain showers. Asked to reflect on the result, and if it felt bittersweet to finish 8th after starting 5th, Ricciardo began, "Yeah, I would say that. A little bit of relief at the end to get back into the points. For a while we dropped out. A few reasons it was weird, because I got told I had a 5-second penalty for a jump start, and I know I didn't jump the lights, so I was a bit confused. I obviously questioned it, but then I remember, I feel like when I was finding the revs for the start, I felt like, and I'm watching the lights, maybe the car was moving. Perhaps the clutch or something." Put to him that it was his cleanest and most complete weekend of the season so far, Ricciardo admitted the performance serves as a confidence boost for upcoming races, while also hitting back at his critics. "It's been good," he reflected. "I feel as well, these weekends are sometimes the hardest, especially when maybe things aren't going too well or you're lacking momentum. We had all the conditions this weekend. It was nice to start, to finish, keep it on track, keep it steady, keep it smooth. We needed it. Of course I needed it. I won't say anything else to the others. It's good, we'll keep it quiet. I'm happy." The others he's referring to is the Canadian World Drivers' Champion from 1997, Jacque Villneuve. Villeneuve brutally analysed Daniel Ricciardo's career at the Canadian Grand Prix on Friday, insisting the Australian's image is the only thing keeping him in Formula One. Villeneuve was a part of Sky Sports coverage alongside the controversial Danica Patrick, but managed to take all the attention over the weekend. Ricciardo's career has been in decline since he left Red Bull for Renault, and after his failed move to McLaren, which saw him fired mid-contract at great expense, many people thought his career was over. A return to the Red Bull Junior team after just half a season out was a big surprise to many people. Though if Nick de Vries had done more to impress Helmut Marko, then Ricciardo may not have had the chance. Despite Daniel making it back to F1, Villeneuve remained unimpressed with the popular Aussie and did not hold back on his opinion in the lead-up to the Canadian Grand Prix. "Why is he still in F1? Villeneuve said on Sky F1. "We're hearing the same thing for the last 5 years. We have to make the car better for him. Poor him. No, you're in F1. Maybe you make that effort for Lewis Hamilton, who's won multiple championships. You don't make that effort for a driver that can't cut it. If you can't cut it, go home. There'll be someone else to take your place. That's how it's always been in racing. It's the pinnacle of the sport. There's no reason to keep going and finding excuses." You all talk about those first 2 seasons. He was beating a Vettel that was burnt out and trying to invent things. Then he was beating for half a season an 18-year-old Verstappen. He stopped being anyone after that. Asked if Ricciardo had been overrated, Villeneuve replied, "I think his image has kept him in F1 more than his actual results." Villeneuve's explosive rant was broadcast on Friday, and on Saturday, Ricciardo responded in the best possible way. An excellent qualifying performance saw him go 5th fastest in Q3, beating out both Ferraris, both Aston Martins, Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton and his teammate. It was the kind of performance that Red Bull thought he might still have in him, and why they brought him back, though they'll still want to see it more often. To follow up that excellent qualifying performance, Ricciardo went to the media and told Villeneuve that he couldn't care less what he had to say. Ricciardo told Sky Sports F1, "I've just been told, I don't listen or read, but yeah, there's definitely some people out there who, yeah, whatever, I won't give them the time of day." The 34-year-old then pointed to his strong performance throughout the weekend and jokingly made an expletive remark which Sky muted before pretending to end his interview. "Top 5, I've been quick all weekend. We're less than 2/10 from poles, so..." We can all imagine a variety of things he could have said at that point. In another interview, Ricciardo said, "I heard he's been talking shh, but he always does. I think he's hit his head a few too many times, so I don't know if he plays ice hockey or something." Ricciardo couldn't have done any more to prove to Villeneuve that his comments were uncalled for. He backed up that qualifying performance with an excellent 8th place finish in the Grand Prix. He may have lost 3 places on his grid position, but it was a more accurate reflection of VCARB's current performance compared to the rest of the field. Villeneuve did compliment the performance after qualifying and said that Daniel needed the push and pressure to put in that performance. On Sunday though, Villeneuve decided to hit back at Ricciardo. Asked about Ricciardo's comments, Villeneuve responded, "His reaction was a little bit personal, and he's a role model. Like all these 20 drivers, you're at the top level, you have to be responsible in your answers, professional. Kids are listening to you, you cannot make it personal. I'm happy to have learned that I knock myself out too often playing ice hockey, but ultimately you'll get criticism. You need a thick skin, and I got under his skin, but it got better for his driving. But it's not enough, he needs to do more of this." Clearly Jacque doesn't see himself as a role model or someone that kids are looking up to. Or perhaps the hits to his head have made his memory a bit fuzzy, as he seemed to completely forget the very personal comments that he made about Ricciardo on Friday. While Villeneuve may not be able to take being shown up by Ricciardo's performance, what he says will ring true with many fans. One good performance from Ricciardo will not change the minds of his doubters and critics, and overall, his performances for the Red Bull Junior team have not been good enough. If this is him turning a corner, then good for Ricciardo. Hopefully we can see much more of this. But if he follows this points finish up in a similar manner to how he did the Miami sprint race, then it won't be enough to change many people's opinion of him. What did you think of Ricciardo's weekend? Could this be the start of a return to form, or is it going to be just another one-off? And what do you think of Jacque Villneuve's comments on Ricciardo's performances? Let me know your opinion in the comments down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.